It's February 9th, 2004, a frigid, snow-covered night in the quiet town of Haverhill, New Hampshire. A young woman named Maura Murray disappears under the most peculiar circumstances, and to this day, no one knows what happened to her. I've always been fascinated by unsolved cases, but the disappearance of Maura Murray is one that feels particularly chilling. What starts as a simple car accident evolves into a haunting mystery, one that has confounded investigators, amateur sleuths, and the internet for nearly 2 decades. And today I'm taking you through this unsettling story, piece by piece. Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. By all accounts, she was bright, driven, and well-liked by those around her. But in the days leading up to her disappearance, things were far from normal. On February 7th, Maura had been involved in a strange incident at work. She was a campus security officer, and that night, she broke down emotionally, so severely that her supervisor had to escort her home. She said little about what had upset her, but whatever it was, it seemed to be the catalyst for the events that followed. The next day, she emailed her professors, telling them there had been a family emergency and she would be gone for a week. But, as investigators later uncovered, there was no family emergency. So, where was Maura really planning to go? On the afternoon of February 9th, Maura packed her car with clothes, toiletries, and college textbooks. She withdrew $280 from an ATM and stopped by a local liquor store, purchasing a small assortment of alcohol. Maura then hit the road, driving north into the White Mountains of New Hampshire. She didn't tell anyone where she was going, not her friends, not her family. At 7:27 p.m., things took a dark turn. Maura lost control of her car on Route 112 near Woodsville, New Hampshire. Her vehicle veered off the road and hit a snowbank. It was a quiet stretch of road, and very few cars passed through that night. A local bus driver, Butch Atwood, spotted her and pulled over to offer help. He described Maura as appearing shaken but uninjured. She declined his offer to call the police, insisting she had already called for roadside assistance. But there was no cell service in the area, so it's unlikely she could have made such a call. Atwood reluctantly left the scene, calling police once he returned home. And just like that, Maura vanished. By the time police arrived 10 minutes later, Maura was gone. Her car was locked, and inside they found an open bottle of wine and some printed directions to a condo in Vermont. Her cell phone and credit cards were missing, but curiously, there were no signs of a struggle. Over the next few days, law enforcement combed the area. Helicopters flew overhead, and search dogs were brought in. The dogs tracked Maura's scent for about 100 yards down the road, and then, nothing. It was as if she had disappeared into thin air. What's unsettling is that no footprints were found in the snow leading into the woods, and there were no signs that she'd hitchhiked or accepted a ride. So where could she have gone? To this day, Maura's family continues to search for answers. They've hired private investigators, followed up on leads, and even conducted their own searches. But despite their efforts, there have been no significant developments. Several sightings of Maura have been reported over the years, from all across the country, but none have ever been confirmed. Every lead has led to a dead end, and every theory remains unproven. It's been over 20 years since Maura Murray disappeared, and her case continues to baffle investigators, amateur sleuths, and armchair detectives alike. For every piece of evidence, there seems to be a new question. For every theory, there's a missing puzzle piece. What happened to Maura that night on Route 112? Did she run away, or did something far more sinister occur? Until we have answers, Maura's story will remain one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in American history. Thank you for watching. And if you have any thoughts or theories about this case, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Let's keep Maura's story alive, because somewhere out there, the truth is waiting to be uncovered.